Did you know that in 1972, a flood in the USA killed more than 300 people? Most people know about the Great Mississippi River Flood of 1927, but this one was actually worse. The Youngstown flood of 1972 was caused by a tropical storm that hit the town of Youngstown, Pennsylvania. At the time, there were around 20,000 residents living in the area, and today, there's around 2 million. So imagine if a tropical storm hit a densely populated place like New York City or Los Angeles. That's what makes this so scary. The tropical storm hit on top of a mountain, which caused a wall of water to come crashing down into the town below. And because this was the 1970s, there was no such thing as a national flood insurance program. And so almost no one had any flood insurance. Most of the homes were completely destroyed, and the town was completely devastated. But here's the crazy part. After the flood waters receded, they found something unbelievable. They found the bodies of 2 men who had been trapped inside their house. But here's the thing. Their house hadn't even been in the flood zone. In fact, it was on higher ground. But the flood waters had been so powerful that it actually sucked their house out of the ground and pushed it into the path of the raging flood. Authorities did everything they could to hide this tragedy from the public, probably because it was right in the middle of the Cold War, and they didn't want the Soviets to find out how badly the US had been hit. But a reporter from Reader's Digest got wind of the story, and he began digging into it. He interviewed survivors and found out that at least 22 people had died in the flood, and that at least 800 houses had been completely destroyed. He then wrote a letter to President Nixon begging him to do more to help the victims of the flood. But Nixon basically ignored him, and so the reporter decided to do something else. He wrote a story about the flood for Reader's Digest, and he included a map showing which areas had been hit hardest. Then he sent the issue of Reader's Digest directly to every household in those areas. This caused an uproar in the government, and ultimately led to all kinds of new regulations being put in place to make sure that nothing like this would ever happen again. Today, there are still some areas of Youngstown that are considered to be in a flood zone, but the town has largely rebuilt itself and is now home to several universities and hospitals. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.